up, Internet? Monday again. I'm Christiane Cordero, bringing you the news on 7:34 here on WCCO. Most of you are about to head out the door, so let's get you started with today's weather. Below average again, 35 degrees is what we're looking at right now. I think we're going to hit average when the average itself keeps dropping. At some point this season, we'll be at average, and it will be minus 30 degrees or something like that. Yep, evening commute is going to be about 40 degrees. If you're planning on running today, then good news is the temperature is going to stay steady throughout the day. Might be windy for your lunch break, so maybe this evening is a good look. All right, now let's talk about this. It got lighter earlier this morning thanks to daylight saving time ending yesterday. Do you like the earlier daylight? Do you like the extra hour of sleep that you potentially could get? Do you love that sunrise? Because I sure do. Or do you hate it because you have kids who wake up an hour earlier or want to eat an hour sooner or whatever else? What do you think? Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment right here. We'll get through a few of those in a moment. Tough news out of Washington County this morning. The Minnesota State Patrol says a man standing next to his SUV on the shoulder of Interstate 94 was hit and killed east of the Twin Cities. Authorities say 65-year-old Randy Kopetsky, a Lakeland City Council member and former mayor, was pronounced dead at the scene yesterday in the St. Croix Rest area. The 51-year-old woman who hit Kopetsky is in Washington County jail. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders has energized his supporters in Minnesota. Last night, he held a rally in Williams Arena on the University of Minnesota campus. Senator Sanders has a message of standing up and fighting back against hatred and bigotry and fighting for a future generation of people who aren't even born yet.
We understand that we are stronger, healthier, and happier as human beings when we reach out to others and understand that as human beings, we are all in this together.
Oh, it was super inspirational, very, very positive, very hopeful, and very uniting.
The youth follows Bernie because Bernie actually listens to the youth and realizes that we are a big, we do have a lot of passion and we are able to pull through in the votes.
Senator Sanders also picked up the important progressive endorsement from Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Tomorrow, voters in several Minnesota communities will head to the polls to decide future school funding measures. Apple Valley, Rosemount, Eagan, 196, the fourth largest in the state, says that they are growing in size, so they need money for more resources. In Worthington, the school wants nearly $34 million to expand schools that have filled and overflowing in recent years due to an influx of immigrants. Voters have rejected 5 similar measures since 2013. Lakeville, White Bear Lake, Mounds View, and Orono are just a few other schools with funding questions heading to voters tomorrow. If approved, residents in these areas would pay more in property taxes. Also tomorrow on the Community Bulletin, St. Paul will decide whether its current trash collection ordinance will stay or whether it will go. Under the current system, trash collectors are assigned to specific neighborhoods. That means homeowners can't choose their collector. Why does that matter? Well, some people saw a spike in prices. Voting day is Tuesday, but you can still vote early today. Fans of OHaras in St. Paul will be sad to hear the bar and restaurant closed its doors for good. OHaras has been in the corner of Selby and Snelling Avenues for 75 years. They sold to developers who built a large apartment building on the same site. The owners intended to reopen on the main level early next year, but in a statement they said competition from tap rooms and the regulatory environment combined to not make the money work. They will keep their State Fair location, though. Check out this video from one of California's wildfires. It's created so much ash. 8 schools will be closed today as a result. The Maria fire in Ventura County has burned more than 9,000 acres. It is 70% contained. This fire started on Halloween and destroyed 2 structures so far. Heating up the conversation is President Trump. He threatened to cut federal funding to California for aid during wildfires, tweeting yesterday that California Governor Gavin Newsom has done a terrible job of forest management. Former President Jimmy Carter is back at it. Less than 2 weeks after breaking his pelvis in a fall, the 95-year-old came to Georgia Baptist Church on Sunday for Sunday school teaching, something he's been doing since his teenage years. Carter is the oldest ex-president ever. He said he is, quote, at ease with the idea of dying and believes in life after death. President Trump welcomes the World Series winning Washington Nationals to the White House today. Nationals closer Sean Doolittle told the Washington Post he will not attend the celebration, citing Trump's, quote, divisive rhetoric and the enabling of conspiracy theories and widening the divide in this country. McDonald's has fired Chief Executive Steve Easterbrook because of a consensual relationship he had with an employee. The board voted to oust Easterbrook, who also resigned, saying in an email to employees that he broke company policy regarding personal conduct. McDonald's USA President Chris Kempczinski immediately took the top spot. Are you one of those people who goes all in on Christmas as soon as Halloween's over? Well, head to Dunkin on Wednesday. Peppermint mochas are back. The drink was first introduced in 2004 but skipped winter last year. Wish I could have skipped winter last year. Customers wanted peppermint mochas to return, so here we are. The coffee chain, the donut chain, says it will still carry its pumpkin flavors until supplies run out. The lines were incredible at Popeyes as people waited to get their hands on the return of the spicy chicken sandwich. Workers at some locations said the drive-through line reached 30 cars deep. My goodness, the popular sandwich was not available for 2 months. The Sunday release appeared to be a dig at rival Chick-fil-A, which is not open on Sundays. Popeyes has been killing the marketing game, and this is just another one of those examples. Country music star Garth Brooks has teamed up with Blake Shelton for a new song and a new music video. It's Garth's first video in 12 years. Can you believe that? It's for the single Dive Bar. That song will be part of his upcoming album called Fun. More than 40 years after Olivia Newton-John started Grease with John Travolta, famous clothes from that movie have been sold. Newton-John auctioned off her leather jacket and skin-tight pants that she had to be sewn into when she played Sandy. They sold for more than $405,000. That is twice as much as what was expected. The money's going to the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Wellness and Research Center in Australia. Newton-John is 71 years old. She's battling cancer for the third time. She says that she's doing great. Okay, back to today's talker. Now that daylight savings time's over, do you like the earlier sunrise in the mornings? Do you hate the earlier sunset in the evenings? Let's bring in WCCO's digital guy, Cole. Cole, what are people saying?
Yeah, we have Barb saying get rid of daylight savings time. We have Ann saying it's going to take a while for the time change. We have LaDonna saying love the earlier daylight, but hate the early sunset.
The thing with Minnesota is the earlier daylight's only going to last so long, right? Because pretty soon we're just going to have like a, 8-hour window of sunlight total?
Yeah, just a little peak of sun. And we have Cindy saying the pets don't understand it. They keep on implying feed me and can't understand why you wait an extra hour to do it.
It's true, but you know what? The reality is the pets can wait an extra hour. Mine do. Sure.
Just a little adjustment.
It's a little adjustment. How does Stanley do in this time of year?
He's fine. He's always, wanting that food early. Anyway,
yeah,
so.
Well, sure. Stanley the poodle, he's just here for a good time. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it. That's it for now. This is the 7:34 from WCCO, and most of the Twin Cities are on the go, so why not make us your place for mobile news? We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:34, and until then, be nice to each other and enjoy the internet.